Alright, so remember I cut the wire. You might think, okay, it's a little bit long. And the reason I cut it longer is I don't want to go through all this whole process again. And that's why I think I'm going to put screws on here. Because if I find that the light's too close to my thermostat, I might move this down and close it off here. Or I want to be able to move it back and forth. And that way I want a little bit extra wire so I can do that. So now we're going to put this into the box and we're going to plug it into a plug. So let me just grab this here. I would make my own extension cord, but I had this lying around and it's perfectly fine. It's great, and I'm going to use this. Now, this is what I have. I'm not going to make one. I have the stuff to make it, but I don't feel like it. So I'm going to use this. Okay, here we go. So basically, I'm going to use the back here. I'm going to use the two holes, and I'll tell you why in a sec. I will be using a connector for the Romex, but I'm going to use this is called L6T, or some people know it as a BX connector. It's also legal for Romex. I'm going to be using this just to hold it down. I don't want anybody pulling on the wire and pulling it out and have the connections come out. So this screws in on the inside like so. Probably going to have to edit this part. I'm taking too long. Okay. It's tight. So basically that's what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to take this wire, install it like so, and just screw that down. And when you tighten these, don't over tighten them. The electrical shouldn't be over tightened at all. So it's just like I said, finger tightness, just to hold it. You should be able to move it if you want to. And it will, but I'm not going to. Okay, so getting back to this here. So alright, so I'm going to set this up here, and so I can show you the connection to this here. Now, what we're going to do is just going to score these, or you can just use side cutters, just trim the tips off like so, and just go like so. Okay. Now, you have your ground here. Tighten that. Now we're going to strip the ends here. This is a smaller gauge, so you're going to have to go to the appropriate size. This is, I believe, 16. I can actually go to any size. I'm used to it, I can feel for it, but I've been doing it for years and years and years, so that's it. Now, to look at this, see which one is ground. I'm just going to give my, I know how to do it, but just in case somebody hasn't figured it out or anything like that, you just need a continuity tester. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, I'm back here. I have two testers. They both have continuity. I have more, but I think you'll get the point with just these two. When you touch these two together, I don't know if you can hear that, it beeps. Okay. Now, you also can use multitask electronic. They do have this here, which is a diode, and when you put them together, so let's see here, it will beep. And you also get overload. You get actually a number, a 0, but go for the beep. It's better. Okay, so now let's use this one. What you do is find your ground, put one on your ground. Mind you, there's no electricity here now. And you go to each wire, and nothing on the other two. So this is my ground right here. So what we're going to do is take a Marette, get our ground, Marette it to this one here. Just give it a little twist like so. Get your Marette, slowly start it until you feel it catching it, and give it a nice twist. And when it starts twisting on itself, you know it's good. Tuck that in the box, like so. Okay. Now, if you really want to make sure, just let's say you want your black wire. Now, typically when this goes in the plug, like so, okay, your neutral, which is the white wire in Canada, and I think some parts of the States too, because they have 120 and 2, it will be on your left side. So this is your neutral, and they'll be slightly oversized in some plugs, so you'll know there's my neutral. Okay, so that's my neutral, and this is my power. Okay, so what I want to do is put the neutrals together, like so. Slight twist. Right. Now, if I was using this thermostat as 220, I wouldn't be doing this. It would be both wires into a set, and then but this one here is not rated for 220, so it really doesn't make a difference. So the 220 ones would have two sets of black and red, and basically in and out, 110 and 110, and then the neutrals are not necessarily used. In some cases they are, but this is 120. Let's deal with that. So okay, now in this one here, your red is your line and your black is your load. You can read on the back, all these thermostats will have that. So basically this one here coming from the plug is your line. So red is line, just double checking. Put the wires together, twist, and then twist it. You feel it catching and you feel it twisting on itself, you're done. If you're not sure, you can get a little piece of tape, wrap around it just to make sure it stays. Okay, I had one more right here somewhere. Where'd you go? Okay, be right back with another Marette. One sec. Just to mention, I'm using number 333 or 33 Marettes, which is great for it's what you need for 14 gauge. But in this case here, we have 18 gauge and 14 gauge, and this is stranded. You can go to a 31 Marette, but I use 33s for everything basically, unless they're really tiny wires, and then I will use it with the 31s. But just I feel comfortable using these, but these are legal, 31s are legal for that size wire. Okay, now you got it all together. I am going to leave this out because I have to fasten the two screws here to sandwiches on it, to sandwich it in here. And I'm going to do that outside the cabinet. It will make my life a lot easier. So I'll be right back with it. Okay, don't mind the mess. I'm in the middle of revamping my garage, and that's what this cabinet's for. Put all my stuff in here that I don't want it to freeze. Okay, so basically we have our plug here. I want to make this removable in case I change my mind in the future. Whatever. What we're gonna do is I got just if you can see that, just a drill bit that this will fit through, and I'm gonna drill it right at the very back. I have a plug where the cabinet's going right here, just below it, so it'll work out perfect. I don't want it below because I'm going to put some other stuff there. So just going above the bottom plate and okay, normally if this was a good cabinet that I was making, I would go almost through it till the tip popped through, protrude it, and then I go from the inside, you get a nice clear cut. But this is going to be for paint, cans, whatever, oils, waxes, so I'm not really too concerned. I don't care, it's in the garage. That's it. Okay, so I made the hole, and we're going to put this through. There we go. And voila. Okay. I will be putting, as an added safety precaution, a clip on the inside so you can't over pull this. Okay. Even though I have the connector, I want a double safety measure on that. Okay. Okay, for this part here, we're going to be cutting our protective aluminum or steel, whatever you have, or you just make this a lot bigger and you don't have to worry about it. Because I'm limited for space, I figured make this smaller and use, I had aluminum, so that's what I'm going to use. Now you can use thin snips like this, or you can use the Swiss ones like so. To me it doesn't really matter. What I am going to show you is, okay, if you can see that, I wanted to overlap the bulb. I want a nice big area so the heat does not turn the color on the wood. So basically, just eyeballing it, I'm going to have it about like so. Let's see, maybe these are better. Nope. Okay. We'll just cut it. And we are going to cut two pieces because I'm going to put one on the bottom and one on the top. Doesn't have to be perfect. For the bottom part, just get a piece in here. More or less. Okay. Now what I'm going to do with this here, because if you can see that's a little bit, I don't want to cut myself, so I'm going to put this to the anvil with a hammer, just flatten that out, make sure there's no sharp edges, maybe send it down a little bit so I don't get cut on it. No, you showing you that? You know, everybody knows how to do that. I'll be right back.